Yana likes my stuff. Alright, this one's quite new, so I might mess up a little bit. Nigger? Man, who are you? First of all, you need to understand who you're talking to. You come around with that backward attitude, acting like this is what you're supposed to do now. Your whole status is a slap in the face of those before you. This tried and true formula of blaming everything on the man has got to stop, because nobody's going to give you that spot at the top. You have to earn it, prove you deserve it, work long and hard towards it, but most important, use your time to do good things, because in the end, there is no intercession. Know that your own progression can only be hindered by your own perception, and if you perceive that a word used to degrade, now use to parade ignorance as A-OK, I'm sorry to say mental slavery is alive and well. Now we can sit here and talk clear about misrepresentation in magazines, but facts remain you are in control of your own fate, and all it takes is faith. If you believe that your freedom is granted by another man, then I'm sorry, my friend, you have already lost. Now the plot thickens when the heart stricken with grief refuse to believe that they too have a part to play in the way we raise our future, instead of relying on the media. I know it's easier to point your finger at others rather than discover the truth. So no, we cannot stand still no matter how tranquil it seems. We will be deceived in our own state of being. We need to be freeing ourselves from ideas that deprive our minds from fulfilling their potential, and subsequently denying ourselves the very gifts we were born with. We have already moved past the greener grass on the outside of the glass greenhouse looking in. No longer wondering, we now know what needs to be done, and we have been doing it. And through it all, we now know there is no need for war. We've already been there before, and we're not going there again. We've learned our lessons. It has been branded on our foreheads for constant reminding. These times are only as trying as we allow them, only as hard as we permit them to be. We've been subjected to torture and misery, misguided and robbed of our own dignity, interpreted as a threat, looked upon as dangerous and ignored through centuries, yet we keep moving forward. We have been through this issue of discrimination, enslavement and gentrification, dead mothers, dead fathers, dead sons and dead daughters. Now we design our own futures using the tools God gave us, educated ourselves and neighbours. We do not use this as an excuse to stay still. We keep moving forward. We have fought against injustice, redirected uninformed individuals, turned enemies into allies, rallied the movement fruitfully into fruition. The ambition of previous generations are reality. Realizing we have no need for their acquiescence or the presence of their superiors. We are our own leaders. Our blood bleeds and stains the sand these concrete slabs are laid upon. We built this city upon the graves of our ancestors. We have had the doors of opportunity slammed in our faces, belittled, overlooked, and misled by false promise makers. Now we create our own prospects and direct our focus on soul improvement. Our movement has no use for their judgment, no need for their apologies, no desire for their money, no longer for their position. They can keep their reparations. We take handouts from no one. We are no longer standing on the outside begging for change. We are inside, making change, expanding the borders of the frame to make the same picture bigger. Brother, you picked the wrong nigger to call nigger. Thank you.
Yeah, what's going on? It's G from SKG, Mr. Fro himself from French and Fro. Now we're down at Dr. Slam Poetry, 30th of November, Archangel in Kensington. We're at the launch night here today with Bumni. Now, Bumni, what inspired you to start poetry?
All right. Well, I started writing, I guess, about a year and some months ago. Just saw some videos on the internet with a guy called Black Ice, he's an American poet. Saw what he was doing and felt inspired by that. You know, started watching some more videos and just felt, wow, you know, I've got to start writing, and just been writing since then. Started performing in January.
Okay. So we found a lot of the poets that were performing tonight were former MCs, former rappers, or still are rappers. Have you merged into that? Is that where you started from, or how did you, although you've been influenced by someone else, how did you get into the poetry in the first place? Was it through being a rapper?
No, I haven't done any rapping or MCing or anything like that. I did a long time ago. I used to make films, but that has nothing to do with the poetry. That's just something I did a long time ago. But yeah, it was really just. I mean, I liked poetry from before. It's not like I never heard of it or anything like that. Just felt inspired to start writing. That's pretty much it. You know?
So when you write your poems, what's interesting to me is when you express your poems a certain way, yeah. But when you write your poems, what inspires you to write them? Is it just everyday life, or?
I think inspiration can come from anywhere. Sometimes it could be something you said, or something said to you, or something you saw on TV, or something you heard, or things like that, or just a general event. So anything really, and anything that sparks a thought in my head that makes you think, okay, I'll write this down. And sometimes they turn into poetry, sometimes it just turns into nothing. But anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you see how it goes. So what if anyone wants to come and see or hear your poetry, like for instance if they're searching through Facebook or MySpace, where can they find you? Where can they hit you up at? Or even future performances, people who want to see you perform, where can they hit you up to find out?
All right, next performance I've got lined up is on the 4th of December. It's at a place called Rudy's Revenge. 11 o'clock I start, I think. Shaftesbury Avenue, I think it's on after. I can't remember the address, sorry. As far as seeing my stuff, I've got a website, bumihazan.com. That's Bummi, B-U-N November, M Mike, I, H-A-Z-Z-A-N November.com. I've got all my poetry there. You can read them or watch them or whatever you want to do, and yeah.
Any Facebook?
Yeah, just my name. And search on Facebook or MySpace, myspace.com/Bandit Haze. That's B-A-N N November D-I-T-H-A-Z-E.
What's that, an alternative ego or something? Bandit Haze, yeah?
well, yeah, that's I play video games, so Bandit Haze is kind of my online video game.
Okay. The media man himself. Listen, we're here with Bummi. 30th of November, Dr. Slam Poetry. Check out his performance. It was big. Peace.
Yeah, peace.